Now, what about your long-term self? What about yourself that starts out in dental school, first job, first practice, second practice, and eventually becoming a RAD, a retired age dentist? So our next guest here is going to help us be successful RAD, successful retired age dentist. So I'll welcome our next guest on here from CityVest, Alan Donenfeld. Alan, thanks for joining us again on Business and Leadership Toppings. Share with our group what you do to help dentists become RAD.
So hopefully all of your dental nacho community are working towards building up, Tech City, are building up a nest egg to do what I've mentioned to you, Paul, which is enter the world of FIRE, financial independence, retire early. You don't have to. If you love dentistry, you can stay in it as long as you want. But to the extent that you are diligent in saving money every year, build up a 401k or other IRA accounts, then the question is, what do you invest in? How do you save for the long term? What's the best way to retire early with a nest egg of capital? And my company seeks to help doctors do that, doctors and dentists do that. My brother is an anesthesiologist, and I've been working with him to find the highest returning investments that are the safest, and they end up being in the same area that institutional investors invest, which is in private equity and specifically real estate private equity. And so my company, CityVest.com, focuses on working with dentists to help them invest in real estate private equity investments.
I love that, Alan. You talk about your brother. I'm jealous of him. His patients are asleep all the time. Our patients are awake. Like, not yet. Like, not yet. We just started. But, nobody teaches us this in dental school. You sometimes can go through your whole career saying, I'm working hard. What should I be doing next? To the credit of the financial planning industry, I think since my dental career over the past 18 years, it's gotten more responsible, more value driven. I know that there's still challenges, but from when I started as an early dentist till now, I think your entire industry has improved. Your nacho topping of using real estate, let's say someone just turns this on and says, you know what, I'm saving in my 401k, I'm maxing that out, but I want to do something else. I know I should be doing, should I put it in a random index fund? Should I do this? Explain to us a little bit about this specific topping with real estate.
So there's an interesting article in Cranes this week, which is an interview with the chief investment officer of Blackstone. And he highlights what sectors are going to do well over the next 10 years. So Blackstone has over 100 billion in assets under management. They're pretty good at projecting out where they should invest capital. And they specifically have called out private equity and real estate private equity. It's the one area that investors through Tiger 21, which is an ultra high net worth investment club, members with a $10 million or greater portfolio, they typically allocate about 22% of their investments into real estate. And so if doctors review their own portfolio, they might find, wow, we only have 3% in real estate or maybe a couple of REITs. It's really not acceptable. The highest return and the lowest risk is in real estate. Don't be fooled by financial advisors telling you to get in and out of stocks. Bonds have very low yields. Real estate typically is targeting these days in the mid-teen kind of returns per year, internal rates of return, which far exceed any other asset class. And that's what you can achieve if you're in the institutional end of the real estate investment market.
Love that. So you explained to us, I always talk about awareness, attention, just find out momentum. So you're watching this, you're a dentist. I want to retire one day. I'm going to hang up the handpiece. I always think there should be some very specific ceremony for that, where a dentist gets to hang up the handpiece, they hand him a margarita and say, you're finished. But they're going to get there. You're a medium-aged dentist. How do people work with you? What type of investments are they looking? Are they looking at putting in $25,000 to $50,000? Do they contact you through your website? Tell me a little bit about the process for our audience so that they could reach out to you directly. And I just want to start that. If you want to make it easy as possible, just text City to 55444 and we will text you back exactly how to work with Alan CityVest, one of our key resources and sponsor. But just walk the dentist through the process, because dentists, they love details. So tell us a little bit about the process.
Absolutely. So there's a tremendous amount of learning material on our website, CityVest.com. There's a learn more button. You can read lots of articles about real estate, or just give me a call. I'm happy to walk you through what institutional real estate investing is. This is not finding a syndication of a solo property. These are 50 to $200 million real estate private equity funds. And what we do is we create a feeder fund where we aggregate a lot of doctors and dentists into our entity so that we look like we're an institutional investor investing $5 to $10 million in that entity. And so not only do we gain access to that institutional end of the market, but we also get better investment terms with that aggregate of 5 to 10 million, which is in excess of where the average institutional invest, which might be 1 or 2 million. So we gain access with better terms. We're finding the cream of the crop of institutional investment fund. All of them have previous audited returns with administrators. We have a third-party due diligence report on our site about each fund that we work with. So it's hopefully as safe as it can be with the highest returns.
I love it. Well, listen, I know my dentist people, they like to feel special for being part of a group like Dental Nachos. So they get free things like we're offering off free seed. And
Right.
They're part of a buying group. We have a buying group. They get special deals on supplies. So essentially, just to put it in dentist terms, you get special treatment for being part of a group through you and get access to stuff that you would not be able to get access to as a solo investor. And I just think this is part of what we want to do with Dental Nachos, is to help you through the whole circle of dentisting life. And I'm sure as we're going to jump off in a second, but I like positive stories, but I like realistic stories. Do you work with people who say they wish they did this earlier, or they should have started earlier, or they are unprepared for retiring? Has that come across your Nacho plate?
Everybody wishes they had started earlier. I will say there are two, I'm not sure what your terminology is, dental nacho toppings.
Yeah.
If you do make an investment, there's a section on the investment form that says who referred you. If you put in dental nachos, we waive the first year technology
Nice.
fee, and the minimum investment, which is normally $50,000, is reduced to $25,000 if you come through dental nachos.
That's awesome. I mean, for $25,000 to invest in your future and keep doing that is great. So we love having you as a Nacho friend and key resource, Alan. Thanks so much for being part of it.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. Glad to be here.